Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we've got...
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Buffalo Bills and the Denver Broncos. Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. On the return, it's Brandon Tate, and off we go from Sports Authority Field. On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. A fake to McCoy. Now it's Taylor. He'll buy some time right. And some room to maneuver. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
They'll throw on 1st down with Taylor. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Play action, now Taylor. Left side here, caught by Clay. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
The speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Throwing now, Taylor on 1st down. Flush to his right. Room here to run. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a 1st down, but a big gain to boot.
They go play action here on 1st down. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Justin Hunter from 17 yards out. And the Bills take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So before Denver takes over, we get a look at Trevor Siemian. He'll be commanding the offense as he did this past year for Denver. 18 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, over 3,400 yards. And now the question is, will he be the guy going forward? Time will tell.
And he's going to have to continue to earn it, despite the fact that he earned the respect of his fellow players last year. They named him a captain about midseason. He battled injuries last year. He had a bad shoulder, ended up getting off-season shoulder surgery. But he's got to hold off the challenge of the #1 draft pick of 2016, Paxton Lynch. One thing I do know about Trevor Siemian, quietly confident in his own abilities.
On 1st and 10, Siemian. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. 2nd and 10. Simeon again. And that is incomplete here. C.J. Anderson, the intended target. And it's 3rd down. And the offense looking to pick up the 1st down after the 2nd down incompletion.
Extra DB on the field for the Bills here on 3rd down.
Yeah, maybe thinking pass. Throwing on 3rd down, Simeon. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. 20, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Jordan Norwood, 82 yards. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Watkins alone on the left side. To throw is Taylor. And his throw here's incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time. And it's 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
On 3rd down, Taylor. They got a man. It's Woods. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 10 yards on the pickup.
I know the object for us when we call games is to be neutral, but I have to tell you, I am rooting so hard for Sammy Watkins to have an injury-free next season, just to see everything that he can do and give himself the best opportunity so that we can see it.
Yeah, over the last 2 years, he's missed 11 games. It's tough. The one bright spot for him, though, his Clemson Tigers did win the national championship.
Yeah, I think that's going to give him a little bit of comfort, but what he wants more than anything, a healed foot and a chance to be the #1 receiver he was drafted to be.
And Buffalo wants that, too. Now a play fake here on 1st down. His throw incomplete. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. And they're on the move as they face a 2nd down here. They come out here in the eye. 2nd and 10 now. It's Taylor. Left side here, caught by Clay. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Taylor now off the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. He can run for it, and he will. Taylor hit. He lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football.
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he finds a man on the crossing route. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Play fake to Anderson. Now Simeon. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Naturally, we're going to say it was a poor pass, but the defensive guys say it was just a great play by them. They broke on the football, picked it off, and gave some momentum to their team.
And now out come the Bills. And they got across the 50 last time, but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense. They affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up. But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Rolling to his right. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Now they'll throw with Taylor. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Over the middle and caught by the tight end Clay. It goes as a pickup of 23. And it'll be a Buffalo 1st down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. Tyrod Taylor with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Bills have taken the lead. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? But I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
That time a 6-play drive, and it culminates in a Bills touchdown. Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here. 1:59 to go in the 1st half. Back to Denver right after this. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. To throw is Simeon. And this one complete to Virgil Green. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. It's a loss of 8 there on the first down play. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. Now Simeon. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Adolphus Washington. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
In the backfield is Anderson. Here's Simeon. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
The Bills bring out a couple of extra defensive backs to defend this third down play.
Yeah, they're going dime. Now it's Simeon. And that's complete to the tight end Hireman. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On 4th down, it's Riley Dixon on now to kick it away for Denver. Back deep here is Brandon Tate. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And possession will change here with very little time remaining until halftime. Watkins alone on the left side. Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you on down to our studios in Orlando. And pump the brakes, Larry. Pump the brakes. We are ready for quarter number 3. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Nickel Roby. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On second down, it's McCoy. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They're going on 4th down. It's Taylor. Left side here, caught by Clay. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Marquise Goodwin, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Aaron Williams. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Here's Taylor to throw. Over the middle and caught by the tight end Clay. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Now Taylor going to hand this one off to McCoy. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
A fake to McCoy. Now it's Taylor. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Robert Woods, former USC man, the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead, but now here, third.
Shut them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall. We talk about mobility, days off, able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the.
Now Taylor. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Robert Woods taking it in. And the Bills use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't.
Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But you're going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. On first down, Simeon. On the right side, caught by Green. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Okay, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. They come out here in the eye. First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards on the pickup there. And it'll give the Broncos a first down. Fresh set of downs here. Back now at the home of the champs, Sports Authority Field in Denver. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now a first down throw, Simeon. Sanders has it over the middle. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And this hasn't been the typical game, no doubt, for Emmanuel Sanders. They've really limited him.
He's one of those players that provides a real spark when he gets going. And when he does it, it's felt by the rest of the team, and they're feeling it in this one because right now they're trailing.
To throw on second is Simeon. On the crossing route, he hits Demaryius Thomas. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And they're going to go soft on the corners. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Back to the air, Simeon on second down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Throwing on third down, Simeon. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And McManus had a little too much slice on it. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
It looked good when it left his foot, but he kind of sliced it a little bit, and he winds up missing it wide right.
Here comes the defensive unit for the Broncos. They trot back out there. And maybe for them at this stage, it's sort of put up or shut up time. They need to stop trailing here.
Oh, I'm with you totally on that one. They've got to go out there now and put an end to what's been going on in this ball game where they've just given up points, got pushed around, so to speak, during this contest. They've got to find a way to end it right here, right now.
Can they end it? Let's find out.
But they certainly got dented with that first down run. So now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
1 man on the backfield. That's McCoy. Here's Taylor. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Taylor. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Aqib Talib. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still do it as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there. We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. So here we go now, an extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Virgil Green is tied in, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
On second down, Anderson. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now it's Simeon. And this is going to be incomplete. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. And McManus able to put it through. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
And the Bills are going to recover. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Time for a break. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 10th carry now for McCoy. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He lost 2 there. And now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Here's a carry now for Mike Gillislee. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Watkins alone on the left side. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make it 2nd down. 7 yards to go on 2nd down. Taylor going to throw it. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position. I think we need to come up with a different name for this position. We keep calling it the fullback position. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback, but we know this. Whoever's coming out of that spot is usually bigger and stronger, and they may not run away from people, but they'll run through them.
Yeah, able to shed tacklers. We saw it right there. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Here's Gillislee. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they've wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
They'll try to sneak with Taylor. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we've got a pair of running backs who are hoping for plenty of touches to come their way. It's Bell's Steelers going up against Peterson's Vikings.
We're at the newest stadium in the NFL, and its inaugural year. There's a look inside U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings. This fielded a few yards into the end zone, and he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Now Roethlisberger on first down. And it's complete to Ladarius Green. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Sharif Floyd makes a stop. Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Bell. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
What a tremendous play by the defensive line. Instead of getting too far upfield against the draw, able to hold their spot and make a big play in the backfield.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And he's got Rodgers. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
When I see Sharif Floyd hit the field, I think of all the potential he has, and it's a lot of fun watching that come to the surface.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. A screen to Bell. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive. They'll try and throw for it. And he's going to go down way back at the 42-yard line. Sharif Floyd never giving up. He's able to keep working and get him for a loss of 12. Well, trying to be bold on the opening drive of the game, but that effort, it proves futile.
How many times have we talked with coaches where they've talked about taking the emotion out of their decision-making? I think that opening drive, if he didn't have it in his head to go for it before, I think that keyed into it. They were doing so well, and he decided to really establish something there. They didn't get it. Now they've got to make sure that they don't lose their focus.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Bridgewater. And Rudolph has it left side. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Now, coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Wide open receiver complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective. And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
A second down throw for Bridgewater. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And he moved left there, Charles. Little danger play. He didn't throw toward that left side, went over the middle. Got the 6, though.
Yeah, he seems like the type of guy that when you told him as a kid, don't touch the stove because it might be hot, he touched it anyway. And this one, he got away without getting burned.
5 plays there on that drive. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Forbath to send it away now following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence. And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Now it's Roethlisberger, and it's caught over the middle by the tight end Green. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Roethlisberger will throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first, it's good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was.
Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown, 43 yards. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
So that drive, 4 plays, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. A first carry now for Adrian Peterson. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Brandon, I know you play the fantasy football game, and Adrian Peterson has to be a popular pick for owners. But this year, a tough season for him. A knee injury early limited him to 72 yards total for the season.
Yeah, early indeed. Week 2 on that knee injury. So 72 yards, as you said, for the year. Came back admirable, hoping to get him into the playoffs, but didn't look like he was ready to return.
One guy I never count out, though, is Adrian Peterson. I expect a monster return in 2017.
He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. A gain of 3, second down. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Bridgewater now on second down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Ryan Shazier ran so fast at his combine that many people thought someone actually ran for him. He's a linebacker who ran sub 4.4, and he uses that speed to make plays all over the field.
And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on third down. Peterson alone in the backfield. Bridgewater to throw it. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And now the offense operates in the red zone. Back to the ground, Peterson. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Second down, Bridgewater. That's caught at the 1. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. A field goal would break the tie, but look at this. Instead, they're going to go for it on 4th and goal. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And Forbath will put this one through, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. 1 quarter down, 10-7 our score. We're back to Minneapolis. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. So the D-line's going to spread out. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Chad Greenway, with a pick. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
You know, for this Vikings team, as they come back out here on offense, I don't know that any group had more of a roller coaster ride than them in the 2016 season. The quarterback change at the beginning, the hot start, and then the cold middle. It was just a tough year for them, wasn't it?
It really was, and when you look at how their season went, you mentioned the roller coaster. A lot of it can come back to the injuries, especially along the offensive line. I think by around October, maybe even early November, I'm surprised you and I didn't get a call to go audition to be a left tackle there because they were just down so many guys. So that made it difficult to run the ball and to protect Sam Bradford, their quarterback, and it reflected in their final record.
To throw, Bridgewater. Steps away to his left. And the Vikings are in for the touchdown. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
And it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here, and our score is going to stay right where it is. Forbath to send it away now following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. They go play action here on first down. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. Brown finishing 2016 with over 1,200 yards, 106 receptions. Now for him, people were expecting maybe some bigger numbers. Charles, what did you make of Antonio Brown's season?
Well, what I made of it is that he started to get more help along the way. Jesse James developed at tight end. Once Le'Veon Bell got into the lineup, he started to catch passes out of the backfield and ate up a few numbers as well. So Big Ben had more targets to throw it to. That should help Antonio Brown going forward in 2017 because he'll still be the primary guy. But when you get help, boy, you can make bigger plays downfield. And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Oh, well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No, let's go.
I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they've been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a couple a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out because I think defensively they can be awfully strong.
Play action. It's Roethlisberger. And that's caught at the 25. That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion. When I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. Here's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Coates. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Play action. Now Roethlisberger. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
Surveying the field. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up fourth. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Boswell's kick is good. And the deficit trimmed to 6 now. It's 16-10. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Here comes Sherrills. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
It's a gain of 6 on the play. I'm just looking side by side at Diggs' number, rookie year versus sophomore year a season ago. 52 catches as a rook, 84 last year, but something you pointed out to me, yards per catch is off a bit, isn't it?
It is, and you know, his first year, he was known a little bit more as a big play threat. This past season, adjusting to a new quarterback in Sam Bradford, that number went down by about 3 yards per catch, but he can be an explosive type of a receiver. Look at the last 2 games of the regular season, well over 100 yards in both.
They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And he's got room. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
That run is what defenses don't like about dealing with Adrian Peterson. His ability to drop a shoulder and run through contact.
And he's amazing at keeping those strong legs going, isn't he?
For him, no run is ever truly over. I mean, he's actually not even convinced that when they blow the whistle, he's actually down. That's how he finishes runs in a big way.
Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked off William Gay. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within. And got his man complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers are an extra point away from taking the lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice...
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust. Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. They go play action now. Roethlisberger. His throw caught at about the 5. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Now the Vikings now heading on to the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They come up in an offset eye. Bridgewater. He'll buy some time right. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Roethlisberger. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Chad Greenway, with a pick. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
He may try and run for this. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a first down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
On 2nd down, Peterson. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Larry Ridley will have first half highlights and analysis.
LR, plenty to show in this one.
Going to be a busy man at intermission. It's a pickup of 19, and that leads to a Minnesota first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Bud Dupree, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry up. 3rd and long for Bridgewater. Now they go screen. It's complete. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Now let's see. Yeah, the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. Bridgewater to throw for it on 4th. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Terrence Newman with a pick. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it's 3rd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
Bridgewater now. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. Final play of the half, Bridgewater. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And it is incomplete. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime.
Okay, people, I'm back just for a little quick second. So, Mr. Hammer Sports, you said I'm trash and I'm going to lose by 8 points, really? I'm going to only lose by 8 points, okay. I'll still come back. We got a whole 20 minutes left, dog. Anyway, I'm just going to sell it to you just in case. Hope everybody been watching and enjoying their stuff, you know what I mean? How many people got watching? 14 people watching? Whoa, wee. Man. Oh my God. Ignore the background, please. I said pictures, not bitches. Pictures, people. I really don't know what's up. I don't know. I really don't.
I know you see it pictures out there. See, you always.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm about to say. I got 13 people. I got 13 people watching, bro.
You, boy. I know.
Man. Oh my God. Let me go back to going muting.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot.
Encroachment, defense. Automatic first down.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Peterson alone in the backfield. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got time. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Stephon Tuitt able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard. So the D gets the sack on 1st, and now it brings up 2nd down. And for the defense, their 3rd sack of the game.
That number tells you that they're starting to put it together with their defensive game plan. They're starting to feel pretty good about what the offense is doing, bringing the pressure at the right time, and putting the quarterback on the ground.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-round. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. They go play action here on 1st down. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. And an alley to run. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And he showcased the spin, but couldn't do much else as he's wrangled down.
But forget knowing where the 1st down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. Now Bridgewater on 4th down. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. It's a gain of 9 yards. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. They were looking for Johnson that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. A 2nd down throw for and he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
This is such a good read defensively. They know that this offense is going to try to get the ball to their playmaker in space. So what do? They crowd him and send bodies at him. And this one winds up being intercepted.
A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the 2nd half. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And it's caught over the middle by the tight end Green. 11 yards on the pickup, and that'll be good for a Pittsburgh first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Brown, the lone receiver, left. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline? Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And I think the ball's out, and it's picked up by the Steelers.
I know one thing, the team that had the ball and was driving, they're going to feel horrible. But the team that was on defense, I think we got to give them a little bit of credit, able to hang in there and force a key turnover.
Yeah, in the red zone, though, had a chance to tie it and an opportunity missed. They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Still first down.
They come up in an offset eye. Following the penalty, it's Peterson. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
They'll roll him out right. And he's going to loot, and he will be taken down back behind the line of scrimmage. Try to get away, but could not.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Bridgewater. And Rudolph has it left side. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Second down, Bridgewater. This will be caught at about the 6. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Bridgewater on 3rd and 2. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
4th down, they're going. Bridgewater. And his pass is intercepted for the big fella. Picked off by Bud Dupree. The 40. He's at the 30. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. And before they can get the play off, here's a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball. That's their first of this second half. Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead is up to 15 now. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Here comes Sherrills. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback
pressure from behind, and he's going to be thrown down. Stephon Tuitt in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up.
And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return will stop right around the 25. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pass.
And my goodness, another interception. Terrence Newman with a pick. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. And here comes the Steelers defense making their way onto the field.
And now Big Mo's wearing a shirt of their color. They're hoping to continue that momentum in their direction with maybe another pick.
Who's Big Mo? He's momentum, right?
Momentum. And right now, he's hugging them.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Little lull in the action here to go over an offseason storyline that's kind of interesting. L.A. a couple years ago, they have no teams, and now they're going to have two with the move from San Diego to L.A. What does that mean for the league and for the Chargers?
It seems like an easier transition, doesn't it, than St. Louis when they moved back to Los Angeles
less
to become
culture
the Rams.
shock.
Less culture shock, less, obviously geography, the whole deal. But it's a transition is not going to be easy. Remember, they're going to go play in a soccer stadium essentially for at least the first couple of years before they share a stadium with the Rams. So that changes things. Obviously trying to create an identity in the market they haven't been in a long time. They began as the Los Angeles Chargers, but only played one season as such.
Third and short yardage, Bridgewater. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. He went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
One receiver left, three to the right. On fourth down, they do snap it to Bridgewater. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. But down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. Well, it didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play. And they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it second down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3, this is where the ball goes anymore. Partner, that's another short run there, and I think the easy thing is to look at them right now and say, let's get away from them entirely. Let's start throwing the football, but I don't think you ever entirely abandon the run. It helps set a tone for the game for you, keeps your offensive linemen feeling good about themselves, and it actually tamps down a defense's pressure because if you just throw it all the time, it's going to tee off with the pass rush.
So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has. Now, that return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And the offense facing a 3rd and 6. They come out here in the eye. On third down, Bridgewater. And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. A second down throw for Bridgewater. Dancing to his left. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
They go play action here on first down. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Bridgewater now on second down. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Adam Thielen, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit.
Sometimes when I see these types of plays executed, I think of basketball. Guys boxing other guys off to go out and get a rebound.
And he got the rebound right there. But the defense was really placed well.
Yeah, they were right there. I mean, that's where it's really tough for a defender. When you're in the right spot, you're draped on the guy catching the ball, yet he still comes down with it.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They go back to the air here after the INT. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss. And they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. On second down, Roethlisberger going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. And look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
Now Roethlisberger goes underneath for Bell. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He's played a great game and continues to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Here's Bell, and there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers, and on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
On third down, Roethlisberger. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, and now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 70 yards. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. It's been quite the game for him individually. A trio of touchdown catches now.
So pick a route, any route. Whatever you want him to run, he's going to do it and do it well and end up in the end zone. This has really been fun to watch.
So they're able to get the 6, but they cannot get in on the 2-point conversion. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Forbat to send it away now following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, he bowls over him. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Chad Greenway, with a pick. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, Big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership, a big-time run, combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet. And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Second down, Bridgewater. Oh, no, he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They run it with McKinnon. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. This defense hasn't let him in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. They'll try to run with McKinnon. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jerick McKinnon taking it in from a yard out. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Did you see them hold up 4 fingers at the start of the 4th quarter?
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The 4th quarter has belonged to them, and now the lead belongs to them as well.
And no, incomplete. They can't convert. So they tried to bump the lead up to a field goal. Instead, it stays at 1 here in the 4th. Forbath to send it away now following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. Muscles him off. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, 1 play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And it's 3rd down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. He usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
This is Bell. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Play action. Now Roethlisberger. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Sherrills to return it. So a change of possession, and it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep. On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
They'll try and wind down some clock with Peterson. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. On the right side, caught by Green. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Ladarius Green, 55 yards. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And it would appear they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Here comes Sherrills. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
That's bullshit. That man could have faked and spin around. He didn't even step out of bounds. That's cheap.
Ah, shit. Oh, my bad. Off in the cut.
Oh, man, shit is all right.
Okay. I'm about to say, that cuss word so over to come out my mouth. Oh, man, come on, bro. That's crazy. I got to come to clutch now. You finna get some BS going in. Testing, 1, 2, 3. I'm good. Oh my God! That nigga supposed to cut, man. He didn't even cut all the way. I hate doing this. I really hate doing this. But it's the only way for me to win. Come on, man. Run faster. Oh, my God, man. These niggas don't know what they doing, man. These niggas don't know how to block, bro. Now we definitely got to come in the clutch, man. Make sure he don't get no dog on TD. What's up with this like, man? Oh, come on, bro. No, that's some messed up stuff. He caught. Man, I ain't gonna catch that, man. Ah, game over. Man. Oh my God. So missed that. Big time.
That's all right. You won't catch him.
I don't say you was spin, didn't even spin off it. That make any sense? Man, get off that suggestion BS, man. We ain't gonna use that. Nobody got time to use that right now. We gotta go all out, man. We can't let them just blow us up like this. Oh my God! You can't they call pass interference, man? He pushes.
What pass interference? Your man up there with the ball like this, then he get hit.
He pushes here. He pushes here.
Oh my goodness! You ain't watching the screen, man. I can't see all them fast numbers and letters that pop up, but I can see the play.
Yep. Now you did.
I did that time. I did move that. I did move. I felt it that time.
Yeah, we got 5 yards for the one time. So I know exactly what I gotta do when it comes to throwing. Don't. Oh, game over. Yep, game over. Oh my God, man. Now we gotta be the tiebreaker, man. Come on now. I'll show you 8 up in your face. You ain't going nowhere that easy.
Alright, he's finna break away.
You see, I told you I use them buttons to put the tackle.
Now, which button to make him drop?
Make him drop it.
I mean, down.
Oh, there's no button. You gotta go for it. Gotta do the kneel, the QB kneel.
I mean, where do I go? I don't know where to go.
Same way you kick a field goal and you punt. Same formation. Yes. No, special teams.
Oh.
Alright, no point of it now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my God! He was hiking for the last second. You were hiking for the last second. Why?
Why not? You can't beat me even if you intercepted. We tied.
Oh, are you coming back or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to break the tie? I'll be back when we looking at the card.
Fine. Whatever. That was a cheating game anyway. Whatever, y'all. Like and subscribe. Peace on out.
Hey, what time is it?
3:45.
Oh, it ain't even 4 o'clock yet.